Jesus Christ. Everybody's home. Except for William, he's in some other galaxy, looks like. We're definitely gonna do a soft landing and make sure some people get in here. I got more people coming. You guys like my nice basement room? It has a really fancy ceiling. Nice and finished. I went where there was space available. Oh, got a pet in the screen. that a cat or a puppy? I can't see well enough.
It's a dachshund.
Oh, I see now. He has nose down before. I can definitely see that's a dachshund now. What's his name? After Thanksgiving, we'll definitely have a pet day for sure. We've got the most wonderful fat cat named Theodora. You'll love her. Fabian. Just as a heads up, everybody. First, for one thing, you know that the 2 days after Thanksgiving, that you're expected to go live in all your classes, right? You guys know about that? Like all of your teachers will be teaching live, and it is, you know, quote unquote, like required attendance. Okay. So more so than usual for me, even though I pretty much try to do that most of the time. But there will also be a different bell schedule, and I think they're having trouble getting that out to you guys. But supposedly there's going to be a bell schedule where every class gets like 37, because they don't have to condense the lunch. They don't have to expand the lunchtime as much, obviously, because they don't have to run all those different, you know, socially distanced lunches. So I think classes are going to be like 37 minutes long with like actual 3-minute breaks between, which will be nice because right now we don't really have a break between in case multiple teachers are going live. So on that Monday and Tuesday, all your teachers should be going live, and it should be a different schedule, which should be being mailed out to you. I'm going to keep an eye out for that. It was publicized to us, but then I saw a parent letter the other day, and it still seemed to indicate the schedule that we're doing now. So I think there's a little bit of a mix up there, and I'm talking to Mr. Fisher about that and trying to get that straightened out. So that doesn't mean that every teacher, I'm sure the majority of teachers are not going to keep you anywhere near 37 minutes long, but it does mean that you need to be there for the beginning of each one of those bells when you see that schedule, and that they might keep you for, you know, a while. Oh, look at that. Is that part pug? It looks like part pug, or a boxer maybe.
It's a pug. It's a Chihuahua pug.
Oh, okay. I didn't think it was all pug, but wow, cool combo. Okay, I think we can start here. I'm not going to keep you guys long today, but I wanted to touch base about your research because I got people all over the place on this. I got plenty of people who got it done just fine. A lot of people got it mostly done. An uncomfortable number of people who did not get it in. Let's see here. Okay. Just before I forget to mention, if for some reason you still have to turn in your vocab test 5 corrections, make sure you do that today. And remember, you can't just turn in a clean test. I'm not hand grading these, okay? So the idea is you correct them and you show me that you've corrected them by looking at the key that I give you. So if you got them all right, put 25 out of 25 or something on the top. Most of you guys are getting that. But otherwise, I want to, you know, put a different color on there or X's or, you know, however you're going to do it. As long as I can see that you found the ones that were wrong. I'm trying to make it easy for you. Some people aren't getting it still. I don't know why. Get that in today if you haven't already. Okay, so writing. The thesis and research assignment that was due. I have checked all that. Okay, so look at it if you haven't already. You could even kind of pop in there right now if you want to multitask that. If you haven't looked at it already. Oh, I forgot a capital letter there. Oops. If anyone wants to finish up something that you were deficient on today, okay, say if you only had 1 quote per source, or if you, instead of putting real works cited entries, you just put a URL. That's not what we wanted. Then fix that today, and I will give you at least some more points, okay? Also, if you didn't do it yet, certainly let me know if you get that done and turn in today. I would like it if you certainly caught up on that, because that's kind of the first big important step. The next thing is the outline, which is essentially the rough draft. Okay, so let me pop in here, and I'm gonna, let's see, hold on just a second. I'm gonna embarrass Alex. Is Alex in here? There she is. Alex, it's okay if I show them your document? You did such a good job on it.
That's fine.
Thank you. Nothing personal here, right? It's not a personal narrative. So I just want to show you an ideal example of what that should look like. Okay. And I'll kind of point out each thing here. All right. So here's Alex's. Very common topic. Okay. We had people on both sides of this in some cases. But let's look at one thing at a time. Okay. So the thesis was supposed to be, you're supposed to be making an argumentative claim, and you're supposed to set up a blueprint that shows 3 reasons why something is a problem. Okay. So here we go. People who don't wear masks is continuing to be a problem. Okay. That's a perfectly good, straightforward, argumentative statement, right? Because stores don't always enforce masks after entering. That's one. People don't always wear masks at gatherings. That's another. And masks have more positive effects than negative effects. Okay. So she lays out 3 reasons why that is a problem. Okay. And then consequently, her paper will follow that pattern. When she makes her outline, when she makes her paper, she will have a full paragraph, at least, but certainly a full paragraph about this, right? She'll have another full paragraph about this, another full paragraph about this, and then either incorporated into each of those or as an extra paragraph after those, she will acknowledge some opposing arguments and then refute them. Okay. Somebody's unmuted. Is somebody trying to ask a question?
Yeah,
Is that Roman?
I can only see the Hamlet Act 2 thing.
Oh, okay. Is that happening again? Why does that happen? You guys don't want to talk about Hamlet? That doesn't make sense right now. Let me start over. Stopping screen share. Why is that happening? Try again. Sorry, this is all we're doing, so we got plenty of time. How about now? Do you see it?
Yeah,
Okay. So once again, I kind of talked through it already, but we would see one full paragraph about stores don't always enforce masks after entering. We'd see another full paragraph about people don't always wear a mask at gatherings. And then third, we see another full paragraph about masks have more positive effects than negative effects. Now, after that, either incorporated into those paragraphs or as an extra paragraph after them, ideally she would, and this doesn't have to be in the thesis, but she in the real paper, she would also acknowledge opposing arguments, what people say differently, and then refute those. Okay, and that's the body of her paper. Let's go through the rest of it, and then we'll kind of talk about for everybody what you're putting it together is going to look like. So for each of these 4 sources, what we're supposed to do is have a works cited entry. Okay, and that's what this is here, and that's what you use EasyBib to make. You put as much information in there as you can, and then it produces it for you as long as you say that you want an MLA style citation. I posted a 4-minute video on how to use that, by the way. I hope anybody who's confused watch that. And if you're still kind of struggling through this, then make sure and watch that. It'll take you through there. And then I wanted to see several quotes. Okay. Now, these might be a little bit on the long side, but that's okay. But the point is, she has, looks like 3, probably somewhere around the neighborhood of 3 for each one. Okay, maybe even 4. And that's great. Okay, now as long as you had 2 actual chosen quotes for each source, I went ahead and gave you full credit, even though I said I wanted to see several. But if you only got 1 quote from each source, I think you're kind of misunderstanding what we're doing here. Okay, it's not like I get a source and there's 1 quote from that, and then I get another source and there's a quote from that. The idea is you take all the individual quotes that you see, or a lot of them, the best ones that might help you with your paper, and then you kind of pick and choose where those go in your paper to kind of fit your argument. Okay, also don't get mixed up and think that one body paragraph has stuff from one source, another body paragraph has stuff from another source. That's not how it works either. You should be sprinkling in stuff depending on the content that you're finding. And as you kind of organize your thesis, you should kind of be aiming your research and the quotes you pull to kind of fit those topics. Okay, so it's kind of a chicken or the egg thing there, and you can kind of develop that as it goes. And if the content of your paper and your thesis kind of changes a little bit as it goes, you don't necessarily have to tell me, right? So say this part, you have some strong feelings about, but you couldn't really, just to use as a hypothetical example, what if she couldn't really find much stuff on that, right? Maybe she has to change that to something else later, and that's fine. You don't have to tell me. I've already given you credit for your work and you showing that you know what you're doing. Okay, so these are direct quotes, they are exact words. Doesn't always have to be somebody talking like it is here. Okay, it could just be someone writing like it is in this one. Okay, quote doesn't mean someone speaking. It just means you're taking the exact words out of a source. Okay, all right, here's our second. Now, what do you notice about what was particularly good that Alex did here was she went ahead and formatted these works cited entries exactly how they're supposed to look. Okay, which is first line is aligned left, and then all successive lines are tabbed over. Okay, now I didn't take off points if you didn't do that exactly on this document, but that is how they're supposed to look on the actual works cited page with your paper. So if you went ahead and did them like that, that's great. Literally all you have to do is copy and paste them from here to somewhere else. Okay, so it's the same thing on each one. Several quotes from each source. Okay, I don't know how so many people thought that putting a URL for a website and that's all is a works cited citation. That's not what that is. We talked about EasyBib from the beginning. I posted a video on how to use it in case anybody was mixed up, and we demonstrate in class. I've even shown you examples. I've shown you a model. So I don't know. Does anybody here who hasn't been attending class and not watching the recordings? That's probably contributing to your misunderstanding there. Let's fix it up. Okay. Okay. Back to the grid. Who has questions about any of that? About what you need to do to, get your credit on that? You're all good on that so far? Okay, let's take a look at the next step, which I'm not going to make you do over Thanksgiving. Okay, all teachers are trying to give you guys a break over Thanksgiving. All right, are you seeing my Google Classroom page, everybody? Let me see some head nods. Okay, so the next step is the outline. 2 people have turned in already? What? Who in the world did that? Well, imagine that. Okay, I posted this document originally on the materials, and some people pulled it out and went and put it here. I'm going to go ahead and post it here too, just so you have it handy. But I guess these people made their own copy and went ahead and did it. But I'm not going to open one of theirs. So let me, for now, since I haven't posted it on that, let me go back to the original materials post and I'll open it up there. And I will probably make this do like like Wednesday or Thursday after I'm still thinking about it, Wednesday or Thursday after the break. Okay. So if you want to get on it, you can work on it over the break, but I think you'll have enough time, especially if you did all your research correctly. You should have enough time to kind of do it as we come back. Maybe take a look at it Sunday or something like that if you want. All right, hopefully this will make more sense now. And I will also post something that gives you some opening device ideas, because I do want you to, some of the ideas could be similar to the personal narrative ones we talked about, but argumentative piece, often it's useful to look at something that's like a startling statistic, right? Or maybe an anecdote about some real case involving the problem, depending on what it is, or a quote from an expert or something like that. But I at least want to see you decide and kind of describe what that opening device is. We want to see the thesis actually written out. And then in your body paragraphs, okay, so think about that thesis, right? Like that blueprint one that we looked at for Alex's. So that first point about masks, that's what this paragraph's about. Topic sentence, right? Starts that off. The second part of her thesis forms this body paragraph. The third part of her blueprint thesis starts this body paragraph. And then if she hasn't already covered opposing arguments in those paragraphs, she'll address those in a fourth body paragraph, refute those, conclusion, restates the thesis, and then some kind of connecting back to that opening device and continuing that, or using a new closing device. And again, I'll be getting you some documents about that. No hurry, but you can start looking at this if you want. And like I said, it'll be due mid-late week, the week we get back. Now I'm going to have some instructions in there about which parts of these I want to see full sentences for also. And you're going to want to keep track as you put these. Notice in the body paragraphs, you kind of follow this pattern of making a point, giving a quote that kind of demonstrates or supports that point, and then commenting on that, and that kind of forms your argument. And then you do that again. Okay. So each body paragraph needs to have at least 2 quotes centered around you making a point and then you commenting on the quote that you give. One body paragraph might have 3 or 4. That's fine too. And you can expand these boxes by copying and pasting as much as you want. Okay. So you can alter the doc. But I like doing this because the boxes are expandable. And by filling it all in, it makes sure that you're doing everything that you're supposed to, at least minimum. what I could probably do is go back and find a model of someone of a complete outline from last year. That would probably help. Maybe I'll post a video of me screen sharing a model. That'd be good for you guys. All right, coming off my screen share. Okay. No literature for now. We'll get back into reading something when we come back and get into My Seminary by John Steinbeck. Hope you guys brought that book home. If anybody didn't, I don't think I got a reminder to you about that. Things happen so fast. I do have a PDF of the entire novel I can post, so nobody will be like totally lost on that. You can always use a copy of your own too. Okay, I think that's it. I'll see you for a live session on Monday. You guys have a good break and make sure and take a break.
Yeah.